on the outskirts of a forgotten village, where the crumbling cobblestones led to nowhere but a dense, creeping forest. A boy named Arthur lay wide awake in his bed. He had never feared the dark before, but tonight the air felt wrong. The cold fingers of a creeping mist clawed at the window panes, spreading like frost, but moving as if alive. Arthur's father had warned him about the fog. "Never open the window when the whispering fog rolls in," his father had said. "It carries voices you mustn't listen to. It searches for someone to take, someone it can keep." Arthur had laughed then, thinking his father was telling one of those old wives' tales the villagers loved. But now, staring at the way the mist wrapped around the edges of the glass, as if testing for weakness, he wasn't so sure. Then he heard it, a faint whisper. At first he thought it was the wind, but it wasn't the wind. It was soft and deliberate, like someone murmuring right into his ear. "Arthur." He bolted upright, heart thundering. His name. It had said his name. Slowly he turned to face the window. The fog pulsed, its pale tendrils thickening and twisting in the moonlight. But no one was there. Then came the knock. It was gentle at first, a mere tap against the glass. Arthur froze, his breath caught in his throat. Tap, tap, tap. The sound grew louder, more insistent. He wanted to scream, but his voice betrayed him. "Arthur!" The whisper came again, louder now, filling the room. Who's there?" he finally managed to stammer. The fog swirled, darkening at its core until a face appeared. Pale, with hollow eyes, and a mouth that didn't move when it spoke. "Let me in, Arthur. It's cold out here." Arthur scrambled back, pressing himself against the headboard. "No, go away." The face twisted into a smile, one that didn't belong on anything human. "Your father let me in once. He didn't tell you, did he?" Arthur's stomach dropped. He remembered how his father's hair had turned grey overnight, how he'd boarded up every window in the house and refused to explain why. "I promised him I wouldn't take him," the whisper continued. "If he promised me, you." Arthur shook his head violently. "You're lying." The fog coiled tighter around the window, the face pressing closer. "Let me in, Arthur. You'll be safe. Safer than you are now." The door to his bedroom creaked. Arthur's head snapped towards it. The fog was inside, slithering under the doorframe, pooling across the floor like spilled ink. He had no escape. "Arthur!" The voice hissed from every corner of the room now, echoing and overlapping. "Don't make me wait." Arthur shut his eyes tightly. His father's warning echoed in his mind. Don't listen to the voices. Don't let it in. His breathing steadied. He clenched his fists and shouted, "You're not real! You can't have me!" The fog recoiled as if stung. The face flickered, its smile faltering. "You think you can stop me?" The voice rasped, shaking the walls of the room. "I know I can," Arthur bellowed, throwing himself from the bed and grabbing his father's old lantern from the bedside table. He struck a match, the small flame flickering to life. The fog screamed. The tendrils thrashed wildly, shrinking away from the light. Arthur held the lantern high, forcing the mist back. "I'm not afraid of you," he yelled, his voice breaking but defiant. The fog hissed and shrieked, retreating to the corners of the room, then out through the cracks of the door and window. For a moment, it lingered outside, swirling in frustration. "You'll see me again, Arthur," the voice whispered faintly. And then it was gone, swallowed by the forest. Arthur stood trembling, the lantern's light flickering in his grip. When his father burst into the room moments later, breathless and pale, Arthur turned to him, tears streaming down his face. "I didn't let it in," Arthur said, his voice shaking. His father dropped to his knees and embraced him tightly. "You're stronger than I was," his father whispered, "but it will come back." We'll be ready next time." And from that night on, Arthur never slept without the lantern burning, its warm light keeping the whispers at bay.